Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm gonna review an Hero Factory 2011 set, and it's going to be Stormer 2.0. So here is the box. You can see the canister is exactly the same as the first Hero Factory wave, so this means the same canister lid with the same logo of course, but this time it's in orange. And also you have to know that every characters released got an orange canister lid. In fact, it's not an individual color, like for example white for Stormer, white for Furno and stuff like that. No, everyone got an orange one. Of course, except this little detail, you got the front box with the Lego Hero Factory logo. Of course, Stormer looking in front of him, and behind him you got Jetbug plus some tons of explosion because there is some kind of a gas, not really a gas station, but a petrol station. So yeah, it's fire everywhere, explosion. So yeah, boom, boom, boom. Of course, his name right here, Stormer 2.0. Here's the fact that there is a little code behind the canister lid, which will be useful to activate Stormer in a internet game called Quick Crusher. So, well, with the code you can play as Stormer in the game. So that's all you need to know. Also, you can see on this part of the box you got the Hero Factory logo plus a shot of the Hero Tower. So, okay, I don't really know why they put a shot of the Hero Tower with the petrol station scene, but well, anyway. Let's move on to the back of the box, where of course you have tons of information, plus more important, a combiner model between Stormer and Breeze. So looks okay. A shot of the Hero core in a 1:1 scale, and of course the fact that you can put Stormer in his box. And that said, that's all for the canister, so nothing really exceptional, nothing really new. We're gonna now talk about the instruction booklet, which will be pretty quick in fact, because there was nothing really much to talk about. It's the same picture. Here it's explaining you how to use the code that you find behind your canister lid, so nothing really complex here. Of course the instructions, which are in 12 steps, plus the parts list, some Lego Club ad, and then the win kid, which cry at you. Not really cry, but scream at you, yeah. So, that said, we're gonna now talk about the set itself, of course, the most important part of the review. So here is the frame of the guy. So you might know that with Hero Factory 2011, we got a new type of connection. This means we're gonna mostly use, in fact, ball joints instead of pinholes and axle holes. So of course, as you can see, there were still some pinholes, but this time we're gonna use ball joint instead of axle holes. So that said, you can see that we got tons of new parts. So the first new part is the body part with full of pinholes and ball joints. So for example, one here, one for the arms, legs, one on this section. Then you got the arms part, which are also new. The limbs part are all new. So as you can see, we got, like I said, a connector, a ball joint, and then a second ball joint on the middle section, which, like I said, will be replacing the old axle holes. So this means if we want to link an armor, instead of linking the armor with an axle hole, we'll be linking the armor with a ball joint and a connector. But we will see that later on. So as you can see, a new part here with a connector plus ball joint, which can be quite useful in marks. Here you can see that a new limbs, which is a little longer than the other one, because this one got a pinhole, so longer limbs. So in fact you got 3 types of new limbs in this set, as you can see. So this one, and this one. Then the hands and feet, you can see that the connector is a new mod also, a little bigger than the previous connectors. The hands also is quite different, because on the previous Bionicle and Hero Factory set, it was this hand with 3 fingers. On the new hand, you got less detail, but you got 4 fingers, you can see, and a little hole between the thumb and the rest of the fingers, you can see, which was not the case with the old hand. So new hand, 4 fingers, and still, of course, the 2 axle holes in there. So that's the new hand for you. And now the new feet, which got kind of the same, well, they got the same type of holes than the previous feet. This means the pinholes here, the axle holes on the side, and the new type of connection, which is some smaller pinholes, not only pins, but smaller circle holes, as you can see, which will be everywhere on the new parts. So that's the frame of Stormer and of every hero, but we'll see later on that there will exist different type of parts. For example, the body frame come in two different types, a wide one and a less wide one, like this one, for example. So that said, let's move on to the armor part, because yes, one of the most interesting parts are the new armors, which come in different sizes. So as you can see, we find the same part as on the feet, so these little holes, and if you look on the back of the part, you will find a connector, which of course will be linked directly to the ball joints of the new limbs. So notice this one, so really a little blocky with some really sharp edges, really nice. I really like the design of this stuff, because it's not as specific as the all bionicle parts. It can be used everywhere. Seriously, these parts are really cool. So excuse me, I'm just gonna see how it works. Yes, like that. So you got the ball joint right here, and you got a connector. So we're gonna link this part together, and that's all. In fact, the new Hero Factory for the Hero Factory toyline will work thanks to this new system of connection. And as you can see, you can turn them around the ball joint, so it's really blocked. It's really nice. So we're gonna put some other armors which are exactly the same in terms of size. Excuse me. And here we go, it's done. So I'm just gonna check something, excuse me. Yeah, like that. And finally, we're gonna put a last armor part, which is in fact a different one, because it's not white. In fact, it's silver with some printed parts. So Stormer 2.0, as you can see. And in fact, each hero got his own printed armor part. So this means each one we got a unique one with his name, of course, and stuff like that. Notice the little logo, pretty neat. So really an interesting part, which can be, I guess, quite useful. So printed part, I think we can call this a little insignia or tag armor. So we're gonna link that like the other armor, of course. And now we're gonna link the front armor for the body, of course. So this front armor is made with three parts. So the first one is this one, as you can see. So once again, a connector in there and two of these little holes. So as you can see, now we're gonna link that thanks to this middle ball joint. Now we're gonna link the kind of the upper part of the armor, which is this one. So a little more detailed than this under part. You can see, so, because it's like that. So with some shoulder pads, stuff like that. So really nice. Notice the little part right here, which of course will be linked directly into these little holes. Like that. And finally, we're going to link the hero core, which is different from the previous hero core. And as you can see, it's not transparent. So once again, the same type of little connection. And we are done with the body armor, which works just fine. Now we're going to link the weapon, I guess. Thanks, once again, a new part. So it's a shield part, as you can see, with, excuse me, two pinholes, one axle, and two little holes. So you can see, pretty well detailed. We're gonna link some spears. So there are some Lego system spear, but with a new type of plastic, really rubbery. As you can see, really soft. So we're gonna link these two parts right there, just like that. And we're gonna link, oh, excuse me, we're gonna link that to the connector. Now link again a new part, as you can see. So it will be used on some heroes. So once again, you find an axle and a pinhole. We're gonna link that in this way. And finally, we're gonna link a little hose pipe, which is not a new part, but a recolored part, because as you can see, we have already found this hose pipe in Vastus, but there were some green here, it's light blue, and it looks pretty nice. We're gonna link that to the connector and on the upper hole. And the weapon is done, as you can see. And finally, we're gonna link the head, which is kind of like the body armor in three parts. So this new head, as you can see, which looks pretty nice, pretty thin and very nice. You can see it's open, and you find some connection points we're gonna link this part, which is in fact unique to each hero. So this is the one of Stormer. Notice the little details, which are pretty nice. The visor, which of course is a Bawaki eye in orange, light orange. So very nice. We're gonna link that in this way. And finally, the helmet part, which is the same for each hero. So in fact, on the head, the only part which change from hero to hero is this one, the silver part. We're gonna link that here, and the head is done. We're gonna link that to the ball joint, and the model is done. Stormer 2.0 is finished. So that said, I'm gonna do a turnaround of the model. And now we're going to talk about the articulations. And here it's quite impressive because, as you can see, of course it's some small model, but with, of course, no 3 ball joints per legs, thanks to the new system of articulation. And as you can see, of course, we got this ball joint, which is pretty free. We got this one, which can turn up to 90 degrees, up to this point, so it's really impressive. And then the feet, which can turn up to this point. So it's really some impressive articulation for this type of size, and it works just fine. So it's excuse me, it's just perfect. Now for the arms, because we got no armors here. Well, once again, it's pretty well articulated on the elbow section, as you can see. So you can really go all the way up. The hose pipe follows the movement without any problem. It doesn't block the movement. Of course, the connector can be moved any which way you want, well, any way you want. Then on the second arm, it's quite the same. There is no problem. It doesn't block on the armor, so it works just fine. Finally, the head can look a little done, but it will be blocked thanks to the, well, not really thanks, but because of the big jaw part. Can look up and on the sides without any problems. So I'm gonna try to make some pose, for example. Like that, a little crouched pose, but you can do some more impressive pose, I guess. Like this one or stuff like that. So yeah, you can really do tons of pose with this new type of articulation system, which works, well, not really new because it's still ball joints and connectors, but at least it works just fine. So I'm gonna do, excuse me, a last pose, and then I'm gonna do a sum up. So of course, as you can see, the color scheme is mostly white, black, silver, and blue. It's, I guess, works just fine. Well, you can say that there is maybe too much white on this part of the legs, but well, I think it works just fine. So I have no big problems with this color schemes. Now, in terms of part selection, well, it's pretty perfect because there is like 90% of parts which are new, and the other parts are some nice recolors, like for example, of course, the spear are in a new plastic and some new colors. The hose pipe is a new color, but all of the other parts are new Hero Factory 2011 parts, and that's really nice because some white parts, of course, which are exclusive to Stormer. For example, all the white parts are exclusive to Stormer because there is no other white models in this first wave. So it's all good, all new, and well, you can just be happy with all this section of parts, which is pretty cool. Now, in terms of construction, which is pretty, it's pretty quick, but at least it's not as fast as the previous Hero. So it's still nice to see all the new parts are put together. The new system of connection with the little pins, if I can call this pins. So yeah, in terms of construction, of course, it's not that excellent, but at least it works just fine. It's pretty decent, and it's still nice to see all new parts work together. Then you have the articulation section, which is pretty excellent, as you have seen, because the legs work just fine. They really bend really nicely. So in terms of articulation, once again, it's perfect. And finally, in terms of design, well, it's a subjective point of view, but objectively, there is some drawbacks. Like for example, this arms, which is not covered in armor, so that can be a little problem. The fact that there is no two ends, but as you can see, a connector here, so that can be a little problem, but not for me personally. Also, maybe too much white on the legs, and finally the fact that there is nothing on the back. So that can be a little problem for some people. Personally, it's not really a problem for me because I think that overall the model is pretty great. Also, some people might dislike the new type of heads, and I can understand this why. But I have to admit that personally, I was the first one to be kind of not really not really pleased with this new type of heads. But I have to say that in real, in fact, they look pretty good because they are not really big or bulky. Well, they are still bulky, but not really enormous. They still look pretty fine overall because, in fact, all the model is pretty bulky, as you can see, because thanks to the armor, stuff like that, the big torso armor and stuff like that, in fact, all the model looks pretty big, so looks pretty bulky. So I think that the head is not really a big problem. And that said, guys, I think that excuse me, I overdid it, I think. So you're gonna try to do some pause. So yeah, like I said, if you want to really a little sum up, this is a pretty good set. So tons, of course, of new parts because it's a new wave, nice color scheme, nice articulation, great articulation. So overall, it's a pretty good model. So you can give it a try because it's I have no drawback to talk about. Of course, it's not all perfect, but it's really a good model, a pretty excellent model. So nothing more to say. But like but well, you will see later on because I have more heroes to show you. So of course, you will see the one you prefer because of course the heroes got the same parts but put together. So of course, they are not really the same, but they still they are close to each other. So I think that it's in fact a point of view. It's really a matter of point of view. But I think Stormer is pretty cool, and that's all I have to say. Nice, good articulations, tons of new parts. So it's all to be liked. So that's all, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them. And that said, see you later for another Hero Factory 2011 review. Bye bye.